Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a Should You Summon for the up-and-coming LR Super Boost banner. Now, before we get into the actual Super Boost banner and everything, obviously, I mean, come on, you knew I was going to mention it. 8th year anniversary is right around the corner. And if you do want the most value for your stones, you should absolutely be saving for these two Dokkan Fest banners. And even if you're not going to save for these banners, the Part 2 Carnival banners are still much better than the LR Super Boost banner. So I think saving for any one of these four 8th year anniversary banners will probably be the best value for your stones. But if you really like Super Boo, I mean, I guess I don't blame you, because there's still going to be a ton of free stones for the 8th year anniversary, so you'll still definitely have a chance to pull these new units. And also, there's a ton of free tickets and everything for these banners, so you do still have a shot at pulling them, even if you come into the 8th year anniversary with like 0 stones. But obviously, your chances of pulling them significantly increase, you know, the more stones. So, I just wanted to mention that really quickly. 8th year anniversary banners are really good. And, I mean, come on, you knew I was going to mention it as well. So, here is the LR Super Boost banner. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst either. So, I can understand if you're a big fan of Super Boo why you would want to summon on this, because Super Boo himself is very good. I won't go over his details in this video, but I did do a showcase on him, so I'll leave a link to that on the screen if you want to know his details and everything. And then there's LR Janemba, who is very good. He's probably the second best unit on this banner. There's LR Super 17, who just kind of sucks. He really needed an easy A, and I was kind of hoping he would have gotten one for the Super 17 celebration, but is what it is. He's not the craziest. And then there's the AGL Boo Piccolo. He's not really that good either. He has aged. I mean, he's a pretty good support, but other than that, he doesn't really have much value. You can't really run him in difficult content, right? Because he's pretty old at this point, so he's nothing too crazy. There is the Janembu. He actually is pretty good. If you pull him, I think that's a W as well. I think, obviously, the new LR Super Boo, Janemba, and then this guy are definitely good if you pull, because this guy can stack. He gets to some pretty high levels of defense as well because of that, and he has guard, and then he can dodge as well. So, definitely a very good character. And then the rest of the units, I mean, these two aren't bad. I think they sub Easy A for the celebration, so they're not bad, but, you know, they're not great either. And then that's it for the Super Boo banner. Of course, there is unfeatured LRs, but they're not necessarily, like, on the featured list of the actual banner, so your chances of pulling them aren't necessarily that high. But I guess keep in mind, you do still have a chance of pulling, like, Golden Frieza, who definitely is, like, really good. You know, you got the Tech Goku and Gohan, who are really good. You've got Merged Zamasu, the Goku and the Piccolo, so some of the unfeatured LRs are definitely very good, but keep in mind, you know, they're unfeatured, right? So obviously your chances of pulling them aren't really that high necessarily. So as far as the main 7 featured units go, I don't really think this is the craziest banner. I think, again, this is probably an easy skip, but if you really like Super Boo, I guess there are some good options, because just to reiterate, you've got the LR Super Boo, who's really good, LR Janemba, who's definitely really good, the Janembu, who is pretty good as well. He can be good in some situations. And then there are a couple of unfeatured LRs who definitely are amazing, right? So don't summon, but if you really like Super Boo, maybe go a couple multis, right? Because I'm sure there's going to be discounts. They're going to want you to spend as much stones as possible because, of course, it's right before the anniversary. So, yeah, that is pretty much it with the Super Boo banner. Now we're going to talk about some other up-and-coming stuff to Global Dokkan. So this is going to be after the 8th year anniversary. We're going to have the Kale banner. This isn't really that good either. I mean, there definitely are some good options. You've got Kid Goku, you've got Captain Ginyu, Kale is pretty good. And then other than that, not really the best banner. You know, Frost isn't really that great, unfortunately, even though Kale did really need the help. He does kind of suck, unfortunately. And then you've got the Blue Boys. They're not really great either. They have aged, but, you know, if you're newer to the game, I guess they can be pretty solid. You got the Tech Kale and Caulifla. They're not amazing until they fuse. And then you've got the STR Kefla, who just kind of sucks. I mean, she's aged a bit, so unfortunately, not the best banner, but just keep in mind this is coming up right after the 8th year anniversary, so I just want to inform you guys so you know what's coming up for Global Dokkan. I don't think you should summon on this, but maybe if you want to save your red coins for Kid Goku or the Blue Boys or something like that, or Ginyu, then I think that definitely will be pretty smart, because Kid Goku, you know, he's pretty crazy, especially after Golden Week. He's got so many better teams you could run him on, you know, next to like the LR Bulma or something like that, so definitely picking him up with red coins, I think, would be smart. And then after, we do have Worldwide, so I just have the cooler pulled up because it should be a similar release date for this year as it was last year. And of course, this guy was the Worldwide Now Celebration LR for last year. So we should get Worldwide here in a couple months. just keep in mind it's coming up soon. It's going to be a little tricky for us global players because then if you are summoning for 8th year anniversary, of course you're going to spend most of your stones on there, so then you're not going to have many stones here. But honestly, what I would suggest, what I would recommend, and what I'm probably going to do is I would say skip this, right? Because not a great banner. Summon for 8th year anniversary, however much you want. If you want to go, balls deep, whatever, sure, do it. Because they're definitely good banners. Skip Kale, and then just save as many stones as possible from the Kale celebration all the way to Worldwide. And then you should have at least a couple hundred stones from there. And then also during Worldwide, similar to the 8th year anniversary, you'll get a lot of free-to-play Dragon Stones. And of course, just a lot of free tickets and stuff for the banners. So I think something like that would probably be your smartest choice if you're free-to-play and on global. But of course, if you spend money, I mean, it really just all depends on what you want to do. Because then, you could spend $500 on the BUU banner and still have a lot of Dragon Stones for, the 8th year anniversary banners. I pulled up Kale's banner, but I meant the 8th year anniversary banner. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot necessarily coming up with global within the next, couple weeks. It's just the BUU banner. But then after this, we got the 8th year anniversary. We're going to have Kale's banner. We're probably going to get a Part 2 LR or another Dokkan Fest after this. And then I think we're going to go directly into Worldwide. So, I mean, definitely global is about to get this really, massive wave of content. So I really suggest you save your stones because we don't even know what Worldwide's going to be. I mean, it could be something insanely hype. It could be Beast Gohan, like a real Beast Gohan, and Cell Max, which, if it is that, I'm sure a lot of you would regret summoning on, Super BUU, and then missed out on doing some multis on here. So that pretty much has been the video. Let me know in the comments who you're going to summon for, whether it be Super BUU, 8th year anniversary, Kale, or Worldwide. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.